Another thing I can tell you about all of these, I've had noted writers grab my stuff and says, "How did you get so and so to write this blurb?" And it's like on the front of this one, the screenwriter from Black Hawk Down. You know, if you look on the front of this book, this is Operation Smokeout. It's my first novel, and Ken wrote the screenplay for Black Hawk Down. Well, when I was with the James River Writers for some time, and we did a thing on screenwriting. Second year, we did a thing on screenwriting. So I said, hey, I want to work on that particular one. And so they had gone around. They got Ken and the Mark Bowden, who wrote Black Hawk Down, the book. And so we had this segment that we were setting out where they were going to talk, and then the film was going to be showed. I says, do you mind if I bring a third person to the talk? He goes, sure, that's fine, bring him. So at the time, he was a major. He's a general now, but Keyshawn Jackson. And there's a scene in Black Hawk Down where they're sending the Humvees in to rescue these guys. And they come under fire too. And the leader of those Humvees in the movie is a white guy. In real life, it was a short black guy who's built like a bowling ball. And I brought him into the meeting before we started. He walks in full dress uniform. He's got a beret on. He's got all these medals all over his chest. Dude's got like multiple Purple Hearts, but you know, they give you one and they put how many you have below it because he's been wounded so many times. And he takes the stage and everybody's starting to talk. And he turned to Mark. He says, sir, I would like to thank you because 99% of your book is exactly accurate. And Mark was like blown away. And Keyshawn told a story about when he used to run security details for higher ups, especially Guantanamo. And so the leading congresswoman at the end of that one came up to him, punched him in the chest and said, I'm going to bring you up on charges for the way that you're treating these people. He says, man, you know, we're all within Geneva Convention, blah, blah, all this stuff, right? They leave there and they fly to Afghanistan. Now they get to Afghanistan and they're in a convoy. And they're coming down and the Afghanis had built this big fire in the road so that they couldn't cross it. And the corporal turns around and says, so at this time he's Colonel, what do you want us to do? He says, we got to get out and move it. And so this woman and some of the other people in the delegation said, there's kids over there. And Keyshawn said, hey, look, those kids know exactly how close to get. They're never going to be harmed. They're okay. They're fine. He gets out to help his men clear. They're under fire. They're returning fire, and they're clearing off. He sees this woman and one of the men in the delegation running to these kids. And Keyshawn takes off because he sees an Afghani going over there. And right as he got there, this Afghani was getting ready to smash her in the head with the rock. He grabs her, pops the guy's neck over his shoulder, picks up the two people. And he's a little dude, right? But he grabs them both by their belts and goes running back to the convoy with two grown-ups. They're killing these people. Well, all of that's to tell you that after all of that happened, they fly back to the United States, and the guy he had saved that day says, we're going to see a movie. Now he can't deny anything that they do because he's assigned to detail. This is his job. And he's the only one that they put in this place. So he says, well, sir, what movie do you want to go see? He said, Black Hawk Down. He said, no, sir, choose another movie. And the guy says, no, we're going to see Black Hawk Down. He kept pleading with him. He said, sir, you need to go see a different movie. So they insisted they're going to see this movie. So they get to the movie, and they get to the scene where the guy that was leading the Humvees is on the ground, and a Mogadishan is standing over him, getting ready to shoot him in the head. And this guy, I can't remember who the guy was. I don't remember what his rank or what if it's senator, congressman, whatever he was. He looks over, and he sees Keyshawn crying, bawling. And he asks Keyshawn's assistant, what's wrong with him? Said, sir, that's him on the ground right there. So this guy gets up, leaves the theater, and goes and tells everybody in the theater, it's not in a movie, that one of the guys that led the charge to save these men is in that theater. And so the movie ends. He's trying to get himself back together, and they walk out, and the whole theater is standing there clapping for him. And he just lost it. He just lost it. But that's it. He's an amazing guy. This guy's done a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's all of that. I had him on the stage, and so when Ken Nolan's blurb came on the front of my book, somebody says, "How did you get him to do that?" I said, "I did something you didn't do. I asked him."